This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. A barangay councilor in Santa Maria town in Laguna province was shot and killed on Thursday, November 3rd. The Region 4A police reported that John Vispo, a councilman in Barangay Cabaon, was in a store at 8:20 p.m. when he had an altercation with one Reynald Eichling. The heated argument prompted Eichling to shoot Vispo repeatedly with a handgun. Police said the gunman fled after the shooting and left the village official dead on the spot. The investigators did not specify the cause of the argument. A further investigation was ongoing, while a manhunt was launched to arrest the assailant. Husband and wife who were former mayors of Amulong town in Cagayan have been convicted of graft and malversation by the Sandiganbayan for illegal disbursement of 18.7 million pesos in public funds from 2002 to 2009. Former Mayor Nicanor C. de Leon and his spouse, former Mayor Pasita N. de Leon, were found guilty of 1 count each of graft and 1 count each of malversation. Former Municipal Treasurer Luzviminda L. Macacio was convicted of 2 counts of graft and 2 counts of malversation. They were sentenced to 6 to 10 years imprisonment for each of their graft conviction. For malversation, Nicanor and Macacio were sentenced to 10 to 18 years, while Pasita and Macacio were sentenced to 10 to 13 years. Nicanor and Macacio were each ordered to pay a fine of 16,340,959 pesos for malversation, while Pasita and Macacio were each ordered to pay a fine of 2,332,182 pesos. For civil liability, Nicanor and Macacio were ordered to refund to the Bureau of Treasury 16,340,959 pesos plus interest, while Pasita and Macacio were ordered to pay back 2,332,182 pesos also with interest. Nicanor and Macacio were found to have released municipal funds through the issuance and encashment of Land Bank of the Philippines checks amounting to 16,340,959 pesos from October 2, 2002 to July 2, 2007. The second set of graft and malversation charges against Pasita and Macacio involved 2,332,182 pesos from the 30th of August, 2007 to January 2009. In a decision promulgated last November 3, the Sandiganbayan said the accused were united not only in the perpetration of fraud, but also in its concealment. She and her spouse have failed to present adequate evidence that can nullify any likelihood that he, together with accused Macacio and Ramudero, had put Amulong's funds to personal use, the anti-graft court said. Since they had failed to explain satisfactorily the shortage in Amulong's accounts following Commission on Audit's demand, the prima facie cases have not been effectively negated, it said. Department of Social Welfare and Development Secretary Erwin Tulfo ordered the relief of 2 department regional directors in Cavite after Novelita Medina Chua complained of alleged strict requirements being asked from families recently affected by calamity. Tulfo also ordered an investigation on the complaint of Mayor Chua on the alleged demand for several requirements by the DSWD personnel before releasing aids to the constituents last Monday, October 31st. In connection to this, Tulfo has temporarily transferred Region 4A Director Barry Chua and Assistant Regional Director Myla Gatchalian to the DSWD Central Office while the Office of the Secretary conducts an investigation into the complaint. It was learned that Assistant Secretary Marites Maristela of the Special Concerns Division will temporarily take the place of Director Chua. Mayor Chua in his complaint said, many requirements are being asked. People had been ravaged by the recent typhoon and they want people to suffer some more by demanding indigency certificate, residency certificate, ID, among others. The president has spoken already not to add burden to these people. The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency arrested a barangay chairman and his companion in a buy-bust operation in Barangay Bonifacio, Mayorga, Leyte, on Saturday night, November 5th. The suspect was identified as Junifer Lumpus, 46. The chairman of Barangay Poblacion Zone 2, Mayorga. His companion was identified as Bernard Silos, 22, a laborer, a resident of Barangay Bonifacio. Lumpus is listed as a high-value individual on the regional level of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency for the quantity of illegal drugs he was able to sell. Suspects were arrested after they sold a heat-sealed transparent plastic sachet containing suspected shabu worth 1,000 pesos to a poser buyer. They also yielded 5 grams of suspected shabu valued at 34,000 pesos in the marked money. Suspects are under the custody of the Mayorga Municipal Police Station and face drug-related charges. 2 men were arrested in Calacan City after they were caught with illegal weapons. One of them is said to be a police officer assigned to the Quezon City Police District. In a report by Jomara Presto on Super Radio DZBB, it was said that the personnel of the Northern Police District arrested Police Staff Sergeant Gideon Jaronga Jr. and Ulrich Waldemar in Barangay 176, Bagang Silang. A concerned citizen approached the police mobile patrol and said that the suspects who were in Phase 7 in the said area were carrying guns, according to the Northern Police District. When they went to the place, Gironga and Waldemar were seen handing out guns. When the authorities approached, the suspects ran away but were caught immediately. Here it was learned that the person who handed over the gun was Gironga, assigned to QCPD Station 16. At the moment, it is not clear why Gironga handed over a gun with 3 magazines and more than 20 rounds of ammunition. The arrested suspects will be charged with violation of RA 105/91 of the Comprehensive Firearms and Ammunition Regulation Act. A barangay village councillor in Tanza, Cavite was shot and killed by motorcycle-riding gunmen on Sunday. In a report Monday, the Region 4A police said Jimbo Villanueva, an incumbent councillor of Barangay Paradahan 2, was managing the flow of traffic in a funeral procession in the village at around 2:30 p.m. The assailants, who were aboard a black motorcycle without a plate number, repeatedly shot the victim. Investigators said the assassins sped off after the shooting. Villanueva was taken to MV Santiago Hospital in Tres Marias City, but he died at 3:55 p.m. while undergoing treatment. Suspended Bureau of Corrections Director General Gerald Q. Bantag and Bucor's Deputy Security Officer Ricardo S. Zulueta were charged as principals by inducement in the murder of Percy Lapid and inmate Cristito Villamar Polona, the alleged middleman in the slang of the radio commentator. Last October 3rd in Las Piñas City, the middleman, earlier identified as John Glober Villamar, died last October 18th at the New Bilibid prison in Muntinlupa City barely a few hours after self-confessed Percy Lapid's gunman, Joel S. Escorial, was presented to the media. Escorial, in his confession, said he shot Percy Lapid 3 times, which caused the radio commentator's death. The autopsy on Villamar's remains showed that the manner of his death was homicide through asphyxiation, which was consistent with the testimonies gathered during the joint NBI-PNP probe. Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin C. Ramallah, on instructions by President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., ordered Bantag's preventive suspension in connection with Villamar's death. In a statement during the press conference, the DOJ, DILG, NBI and PNP said, it was found through the investigation that both Director General Gerald Bantag and DSO Ricardo Zulueta were behind the killing of both Percy Lapid and John Villamar. Director General Bantag had a clear motive to effect the murders. For Percy Lapid, it was the continued expose by the latter of the issues against the former on his show, Lapid Fire. A village councillor of Barangay Alajisia was arrested together with her driver during a buy bust that yielded 1.37 million pesos in suspected shabu along Takiling Road on Tuesday. Police identified the suspect as Abby Aranita, 28, a resident of ECC Villas subdivision, and Freely Boy Aldous, 39, of Purok Cabaguasan, Barangay Mansalingan, both tagged as high-value individuals by the Bacolod City Police Office. Aranita, a single mother, is in her second term as a member of the Alajis Barangay Council and had also served as chairperson of the Sangguniang Kabataan. I have no comment, since I became SK chairman in 2010 and became a Kagawad for 2 terms for 11 years. Barangay Alajis knows me. Only the people of Alajis and those who know me can defend me, Aranita said in the local dialect during an interview at the custodial facility of Police Station 7. According to the police report, an undercover policeman purchased 5,000 pesos worth of shabu from Aranita in a meet-up at around 3:15 am during the operation initiated by the City Drug Enforcement Unit, which placed her under surveillance after receiving information about her alleged involvement in illegal drugs last month. Operatives seized from the subject 12 sachets and 2 knot-tied transparent plastic bags containing the prohibited substance, weighing 201 grams with a standard drug price of 6,800 pesos per gram. They also recovered Aranita's white Toyota Vice car, mobile phone, sling bag, and 700 pesos cash. Both suspects will be charged with violation of RA 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. Vice Mayor El Cid Familaran, who personally knows Aranita, said the arrest of the barangay official should serve as a lesson not only to elected officials but also to other individuals involved in illegal to return to government coffers a total of 192.188 million pesos achievement bonuses given to non-officers and employees in 2014. In the decision dated the 24th of January 2022, total made public recently. The Commission affirmed the notices of disallowance achieved various CAP officers and denied the petition of former officials led by retired Lieutenant General William Hotchkiss 2022 but was made public recently. The Commission affirmed the notices of disallowance issued to various CAP officers as it denied the petition of former officials led by retired Lieutenant General William Hotchkiss Cluster Division holding them liable for the bonuses. Jocelyn the authorizing, approving and certifying officers remain secondarily liable for the total amount of disallowance which shall be reduced by the refunds made by the payers who are liable to return the amounts they actually received. The COA proper said in the decision signed by then COA chairperson Michael liable for the total amount of disallowance which shall be reduced by the refunds made by the payers who are liable to return the amounts they actually received. 6 months to 180 days. The decision signed by then COA chairperson Michael Rinaldo and Commissioner Roland the COA stated that the granting of achievement petition for review was filed beyond the regulatory period of 6 months to 180 days but it was satisfied and the issue was resolved. The government merit control corporation the COA stated that the granting of achievement bonus number 07 series of various laws and administrative order number 103 series of 2001 and COA the government owned and control corporation -00/2011. The decision also stressed that the achievement bonuses were not included in the 2014 number 100 corporate operating budget and were thus deemed in a COA circular number 2013-003. The decision also stressed that the achievement bonuses were not included in the 2014 CAAP corporate operating budget and were thus deemed an irregular expenditure. Philippine National Police Chief, General Rodolfo Azurin on Tuesday ordered a manhunt against the suspects in the killing of a police officer in Cagayan province on Monday night. I trust that Police Regional Office 2, Cagayan Valley, through Abulug Police Station is now seriously engaged in extensive investigation and follow-up operations to identify and immediately arrest the gunmen who killed Major Rafael Tanganan who was assigned in the Regional Finance Service Office 2. I am reiterating my directive to conduct a thorough manhunt to apprehend the suspects, Azurin said in a statement. Reports said the victim was driving his white Toyota Hilux with plate number ACA 228 when two men riding in a brown Toyota Innova suddenly pulled up beside him and shot Tanganan on Monday night at Barangay Libertad in Abulug town. The unidentified suspects fled after the incident. Azurin also expressed hope that the case will be immediately resolved through the help of technology, citing leads obtained from digital pieces of evidence from closed-circuit television camera footage that may have captured the movement of the suspects before, during, and after the shooting. While these police actions unfold, the PNP is extending all possible assistance to the family of Major Tanganan including administrative processes required for the immediate release of benefits and other financial claims. This case will not go unsolved. Punishment is certain to those responsible for this heinous crime, said Azurin. Members of the Philippine National Police's anti-scalawag unit arrested a police officer for grave coercion and cybercrime offenses in Bulacan early Thursday. Brigadier General Warren de Leon, chief of the Integrity Monitoring and Enforcement Group said Patrolman Julius Ramos, who was assigned at the Service Support Division of the PNP Intelligence Group at Camp Crame, was arrested in an entrapment at around 12:30 am. The operation stemmed from the complaint of the suspect's former partner that he threatened to leak their intimate videos on social media if she refuses to meet up with him. During the arrest, the suspect was caught at a Travelers Inn in Barangay Tungkong Manga, San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan together with the complainant. The suspect offered to delete the naked video of the complainant stored in his cell phone in exchange for sexual intercourse and coerced the complainant to submit to his will. The suspect will be charged with administrative and criminal charges of grave coercion, the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 20212, and the Anti-Photo and Video Voyeurism Act of 2009. The Sandiganbayan has ruled to continue with the trial of a former Bataan provincial governor facing graft charges. A resolution dated November 3 written by Associate Justice Ejado M. Caldona turned down a motion filed by Leonardo B. Roman, then Bataan provincial governor, who is accused of graft in the 2003 contract for the construction of a mini theater at the Bataan State College in Abuque town, which allegedly benefited a private contractor, VF Construction. Roman had filed a motion for leave to file a demurrer to evidence last September, which seeks the outright dismissal of a case based on the apparent insufficiency of the prosecution's evidence, even without the defense giving its side. After a circumspect consideration of the arguments presented by the parties, the court is of the considered view that the motion for leave to file demurrer to evidence, filed by Roman, is bereft of merit. The court said in ordering the case to proceed, the construction contract had been ruled to be void and illegal as found by the Commission on Audit in its Audit Observation Memorandum, which cited a lack of valid appropriation and noticed that there had been no stipulation on the period of performance or target completion date. Despite the defects in the contract, Roman allegedly signed questionable documents, particularly a certificate of acceptance, an accomplishment report, and a certificate of completion, as well as checks made to the firm amounting to 3.31 million pesos. The COA also said the construction was only 50% completed, contrary to the alleged completion of the project. That's all for this week. I'll see you next week with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.